Electric Avenue, where the beats alive. Urban rhythm where we thrive.
We're going to go over to our little Kickstarter over here. It's looking like a bit of a mess just because I set everything up for this purpose and I'm not keeping it like this because it looks terrible. This was a longer job than I expected. Anyway, here we are. Don't mind the outdoor bathtub. Okay, so let's start with our electricity. We have a stove and a fridge here that's going to need to be powered. So when you start out, your first source of electricity is going to come from solar paneling. So we're going to go in our build menu, this B, and I like to kind of do everything like this in fly mode because it's just easier. If you look on the left hand side of the screen, you will see the different instructions for build mode. Alright, so I'm going in fly. You can see there now too how to exit fly mode. Same way you get into it. Alright, so here are our solar panels. You can have up to 4 of them when you're starting out. For convenience, I just have 3 right now. And what we're going to need is some outlets and switch. This is another kind of switch that can be used, probably more if you're doing a lot of stuff outside, I would say. So I like to use these. I'm going to set this up first. And just find somewhere not too intrusive to put it, if it will cooperate. Alright, that seems good. Alright, so now we need to set up, connect these all to the switch. And you're going to need to have an incoming and outgoing port from the switch. I'll show you what I mean. Alright, first let's pick an outlet. Alright, so these little terminals here. These are our little outlets. If I call them outlets, this is what I mean. It doesn't really matter which of these you use. They just connect in different to different structures. So, like if you have a suspended terminal, that's obviously going to connect from a ceiling. If you have a wall terminal, obviously you can just stick it on the side of the wall. And then if you have a ground terminal, you can put it on any foundation or ceiling upright, obviously. I think I'm going to use the wall one, and I'm going to do it this way. Okay, so we got this first, and then this. So this top one is going to be where the power is going to go into the box. This one is where it's going to come out. And there's a 4 one. Honestly, you can use fewer outlets than I tend to use. I just kind of like everything to be a little tidy and aesthetic, you know what I mean? And on there, this one is going to end up connecting these 2 things here. I'm going to leave that, put this over here just so it's easier to see. Okay, I think that's it to start, so get started. Actually, I do want to put, no, I'm going to do it this way. So either you can connect these from one to the next, or another thing I like to do, which I don't know, might not be everybody's cup of tea, is connect them to this wall outlet. And I just like to do it this way because then if, I don't know, I just feel like it's less risky, say if you like damage one, but honestly, now that I think about it, it probably isn't. Anyway, so if you see the menu hovering over the solar panel, you can see how you attach the wire. It's going to be X. So you hit X on the solar panel. Now it says connecting wire. Now if I move my mouse around, you can see that cord, the cable. Alright, you're going to bring that to an outlet, or you have another option of bringing it to the next solar panel, sorry. We'll do it here, so X, wire connected. Okay, I'm going to hit X on this one, X, wire connected. I'm going to hit X here, X on there, wire connected. I'm going to hit L because currently the cables weren't showing. I didn't realize I was hiding them. Alright, so whether you do it this particular way or connect one to the next, I haven't seen any difference. The only difference is, I guess, aesthetics, and maybe this isn't the tiniest, but whatever. Alright, so now we need to highlight this port, and we need to take a wire from there and bring it to the next outlet or power box. So X, we've got our cable here. Now I've got another outlet running here. What can I say? I like my outlets. So I'm going to hit X to attach. I'm going to hit X again from this outlet so I can bring one here. So you notice that the switch just moved. So that's successfully connected. So now that is providing power to the box for the switch. And now we're going to take a cable from the switch to that port. Okay, so X and then X. Alright, now we've got our outgoing line. So this line will be powered. At the moment, if you notice there's a red light on the switch, that means the power's turned off. Make a note of that. So when the power is turned on, which you need to do at the end, this switch here is going to be the only one providing power. Do not connect anything to the incoming switch. That's not going to do anything for you. It won't work if you do it that way. You have to connect it to the live line. So that will be your outgoing one. So that's right here. Let's try and highlight that. Oh, I had it for a second. The building on this can be very finicky. Okay, X. Now we're going to bring it to this one. X. Okay, and we're going to do this 2 more times. Try to highlight that. Alright, X. I'm connecting it straight into the fridge. X here. And this is going to plug into this. I lied. As I used the wrong kind of kitchen, I think. It's been a little while since I've used this one. Let me just check the back of it. Oh yeah, so that one must be a manually powered one. Let's get rid of that. Sorry about that. Let's find the kitchen set. Okay, this one does need to be powered. Okay, try and get this again. Come on. There we go. X. And you can see the port that's built into the back of this kitchen set. So you know that one's going to be electric. And X. Okay. I'm going to tuck that back into a spot. Okay, I'm just going to move this over. I'm just going to hide that little port. And that is it for the moment. Now, if you want to hide all these ugly cables, hit L. There we go. Now we don't have to look at them, which is so nice because when I started, that hadn't been added yet. Alright, so we're going to get out of build mode. We got everything connected, so it should work. All we have to do is hit the switch. There we go, it's lit. And now when we hover over this, you can see it's green. That means it's connected, it's working. And the power cost is 2 watts. Hover over this, doesn't want to tell you, so we'll hit F. So you see that this is green. I hover over the little power symbol, I can just barely see power consumption is 5 watts. So that is all good to go. And the watts are important because you only get so much power out of your generators. So I'm going to have to go back in build mode, see if I can see this. Alright. Fortunately, I can't see it in build mode. I'm just going to drag this down to show you. Okay. Alright, so you can see that this is green. Obviously, it's connected properly. It says 8 watts of power. So this one provides 8 watts. And it will tell you your max output and your power used. So the amount of power of the appliances in your home are using and the amount that this particular one is capable of. So if you have 3, ideally that should be like 45 watts. And so that's your limitation if you're working with just these 3. This is going to vary, however, since they are solar powered. And it depends on how much sun they're getting, cloudy day, things like that. Placement, you don't want anything blocking them. You don't want them too low to the ground. They can be a little finicky about that. But for now, we're good. Now what happens is, as you progress, you're going to need more appliances that are going to demand your power, more things that are going to demand power. Eventually, you're going to find that things are just going to stop working, and you'll go to these. Check the amount of power it's being demanded of each of these, and you will see that it's not enough anymore. And at that point, it's time to upgrade to the next kind of generator. You can do like a little you can either like completely wipe these out and make all new generators on the next level if you have the materials for it, or you can kind of transition and keep some of these, replace one with a newer type of generator, and work your way up. Okay, so if you look here, so we started with this. This was the next one that I had used. These are great, and one of the best power sources for them, you have to fuel them. The best power source, or one of, is shellfish. So if you're, a lot of people probably start out on the beach, maybe. It tends to be a little safer. If you notice there's rocks on the beach that have shells all over them, break those rocks and collect them. You're going to get shellfish from that. Shellfish is great to power that, as well as other meats. You can also use food waste to power it. Shellfish also is a very good food to cook and sell to NPCs because it tends to get you a decent amount of energy links when you're starting out, and even a little further beyond starting out. Okay, and then you've got your hydraulic generators, which is going to be after that. And then you go up to deviation energy. I haven't used that yet. Weirdly, I think this comes after that. I don't believe I had it unlocked myself. It was in this order for me. And you've got advanced solar. And then you've got advanced hydraulic. Okay. And I think that's about it for electricity part for now. So you right click to bring this menu up. And right here, gathering and production. Okay, so you've got the water pump. Now I don't see it here, probably because it's not necessarily an Eternal Land, but there's also a Stardust water pump. That is only something you're going to be using if you want to collect Stardust, I think, for the purpose of farming acid, or something like that. I didn't really use it myself in a high pollution area. So if you see this and you see the Stardust one, stick with this. because unless you're ready and in an area for the Stardust one, you're not going to use it. It's not exactly the same purpose. So you're going to start with this piece. Then you're going to need this, the water pump, the other water pump, and then you're also going to need this. Okay. Now, when you first, very first start out, you're going to have a rainwater collection system probably. I mean, some people use it, some people don't. Some people may prefer to just manually collect their water. But this is nice to just grab some water passively, and while you're not on, it will collect too. We'll start with explaining this one. I mean, I pretty much explained it, but here's something else you can do to make this a little more efficient for you. And again, just when you're starting out. So obviously, it's going to collect water when it rains. All right. So it's got 4 slots to fill up with dirty rainwater, and you're going to have to take that to your starter kitchen to boil it and excuse me and clean it. But what you can do, since there's only 4 slots and that can fill up pretty quickly, especially if it's raining a lot, you can connect this to a water tank. And this has um, tons of space to just sit there and collect water and collect and collect. And it's great to have. So you're going to hit, you see now, it says connect pipe V. So we're going to hit V. We're going to go down here and we're going to hit V on this. Okay, so now that's connected to that. Are the wires hidden again? They are. Okay. And also notice the lights going down the blue line. So that shows you the directional flow of the water. And you definitely want that to go downward. Otherwise, it's not going to collect. Okay, so then you got that set up. So that's like easy passive water collection. But again, this is only going to get you dirty water. But when you're starting out, this is very handy. So you not have to constantly dump that thing out. It can be very annoying, and then you don't have water when you need it because you go through those 400 bottles of water really fast. All right. Anyway, your next step. So progressing past that, you then go to the water pump system. So this has to be attached to the ground, otherwise it's not going to let you attach it anywhere. Like, it, if you find that it's a bit of an eyesore, what I like to do is like attach maybe put some foundations around it, and then kind of cover it with ceilings. And there's those little like 1/4 size ceilings that can be really useful for that. And then you can just completely conceal it. It'll still work after it's all set up, but you don't have to look at it. Okay, so with the water pumps need electricity, and they also need the hoses connected. So let's start by hooking up electricity to these 3 things. Okay, we're going to need a port. I think I'm going to put one on the outside. Okay. Maybe this one. Okay. This is all temporary, so I'll be wiping it out later. Placement's not important. Okay. So let's, okay, remember we're going to connect to this outgoing port, because if we connect from that one, it's not going to work. Just try to highlight it. Okay, X. And then Actually, I'm going to move this down because the first thing I want to connect is this. Okay, X again. X. Okay, so now that's connected. Now, with these things, you could connect them all from this port if you want, or you can connect them straight from here now that this has been powered. And if you look in the left-hand corner, you'll see the water pump is now green, and now it says working. And it costs 10 watts to run, which is a lot, actually, because all the other things are like 5, 2. This one's a complete power sucker. So I'll just connect the electricity that's going into here to the pump and to the filtration system. I haven't seen any real difference between connecting it from this port or just straight from here. So I don't think it matters. It's entirely up to you. But they just both need power. Okay, so connected one line here. And then I'm going to drag a line from here to here. And let's double check. Make sure everything is good here. I have to get some stairs to look over here. Okay, so we know that this is done. Move this. Okay. See if we can see it. Oh, yep, we can. Oh, both of them, perfect. The smaller water pump is using 1 watt, and then the water filtration system is using 6 watts. And they're both green, so they're good to go. That means we can now connect the water lines back into Buildable. Okay, now the tricky thing with the water system is that for this, gravity matters. So I probably should have explained this sooner, but this is going to be why this setup looks so weird. It has to be set up in a way that it's going to be working with gravity, not against gravity. What I mean by that is this water pump is taking the water from the ground. Then it's going to push it to this water pump. That water pump then pushes it to the filtration. And if you don't connect them in this way, where this is on the ground level, this has to be higher above, usually the next floor up, and then this has to be above everything that it's going to be connected to. So top floor, or whatever kind of situation you have going on with your build. And I think that'll be a little easier to see once we connect the water lines about why that is. So V for the water line. So now we've got our blue line, and we're not connecting to that yet. Drag it to this guy, V. Notice the light, V here, V here. And we're going to do one more step. We're going to take a line, V, and we're going to take it over to the water tank so that it collects all the water for us. And it has this massive storage, so it's perfect. So you're not constantly running and emptying that, because that would be obnoxious. Now, I find that when this is set up correctly, you get a ton of water, like so much water, more than you need. I ended up getting up to like 4 water tanks collecting from my filtration, and they were full, and I just said no more. I disconnected my water, and I didn't even need to set it back up again. I had so much water, it was ridiculous. So I bet there's already water in there now too. Alright, so getting back here. So as you see, the light is moving upward to this pump. It's moving upward to the filtration, and then it's moving downward to the water tank, which is exactly what you want, because these two pumps are able to push all of that water up to where it needs to be to get cleaned. And then this just takes it back down to here for storage. If you do not have these in the right order, for one, you'll notice that the directional light is going the wrong way, and it's just not going to work. You're not going to get water, and you're going to be really frustrated. So make sure you're setting these up in the correct order. Now there's one last thing. So this is a decoration item. Unfortunately, I do not remember how I obtained it, but just in case anybody else has one of these, you can actually use this bathtub. You just have to connect it to water. Okay, so if you hit F, it says connect water pipes. So let's do that. Let's have a clean bath. V once again. Also, I think the limit of hoses might be around 5 or 6 that you can have from one unit here. Good thing to keep in mind. Same with these little outlets here. They can have a max of, I think it's 5 connections before you need to use a new one. Okay, V. And once again, you can see that the water is flowing in the right direction. And then we're going to hit L to hide all that mess. It's all set. I'll show you. See? You can fill up that bathtub. And then, as I hover over it, you can see, take a bath. So you can actually sit in there, and it looks super relaxing, I'm not going to lie. It also benefits your character, but I can't see those benefits on Eternalands, so I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what they were, but it might be the same kind of benefits you would get from sleeping. I don't recall, so unfortunately. But I just think it's fun. So I think that's about it. Actually, let's take a look. Oh yeah, no water in that one because that one's connected to the rainwater. We already have some water here. We've got purified water. Perfect. So we know that's set up, and eventually it will fill that right up. All done. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. If anybody has any requests on any little tutorials they might need, I can try to make something for you. Obviously, I don't know everything. I'm still learning, but feel free to let me know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my video, and you have a great day. Shake it off, girl.